The Tigers are headed to the Shenandoah Valley. The Tiger Basketball Report starts next.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Wise Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome, fans, to another edition of the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, being joined as always by the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Skerry. Saturday afternoon, the Tigers at 4 o'clock will take on the Dukes of James Madison in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And, Coach, kind of a weird week. Here we are more than halfway through the season, and you're playing 2 teams this week, Delaware and Madison, that you haven't played all year. It's a little odd, isn't it?
Yeah, it's peculiar, to say the least, but it's the schedule. We just deal with it. JMU is a place I hope to play better than we did a year ago there up at the Convocation Center, and they've got a lot of new pieces, but some good freshmen, and then a couple of older new guys. DeVell Phillips transfer from DePaul, junior college guy, and then Stuckey Mosley is having an all-conference type season, can really score. They got good freshmen too. Lewis, Banks, these guys having good years for them.
Stuckey Mosley has kind of become their star. He's got one of the best names in the league. Transfer from Toledo. When you look at him, what do you see?
He can really score. He's in that Foreman, Zane Martin, Tremaine Isabel, so many of these talented Riller guards that can make difficult shots and score in spurts. So he's a guy that you got to do a really good job on defensively.
You look at this roster, and you mentioned they've got all these new players. Really, the only name that I recall when I'm going through the roster, Joey McLean, is really the only guy left.
And he's injured, yeah.
And so this is a team that it's total transition year for them.
Well, I think
they started off very slowly, but then they started to pick it up a little bit. They've fallen back now, but they had a little run there.
Yeah, I think Lou Rowe's done a good job recruiting. They've got good young guys, and like anything, there is a transition in order to get your own guys and whatever style of play that you're going to play. And I think their record is deceptive. They've lost a couple, 3 games, in my opinion, they should have won. Hofstra at the buzzer, William Mary. Those are games they played more than well enough to and really deserved to win the game.
And they were nip and tuck with Charleston on Saturday till the end.
It seemed like that. So I mean, they'll be good. I said they've got. I think they're one of the deepest teams in physical, good rebounding team, and obviously you've got a guy with serious star power, and then the kid Lewis is having a really, really good year for them.
Conference games, it seems, over the last couple of weeks, there are no blowouts in the CAA at all. Did you see this coming when the season started?
You know what? Here's the one thing I'd say. I think I looked the other day, over the last 4 or 5 years, our league has and like every year but one, we've been in the top like 3 in the percent of like close games. So it's really good basketball, good players, some terrific coaches with different style. It's the definition of hell for a coach. You know what I mean? There's just, you got to figure out ways each night. You got to do what you do, and then you've got to close out games. And I think that's probably, we've talked about this in early episodes. Our numbers are pretty good, but we've had some inability to, late game execution. And Saturday will be a hard fought game, and there's just a couple things in winning time, make sure we make enough of those plays.
Kind of a tough streak here in the middle of the schedule. You've got 3 straight road games with Delaware, Madison, and then Drexel before coming back home. So very important to get those road victories, because they're, as you always say, road victories are like gold.
Yeah, they're not easy. Good thing is we don't have any hellacious trips travel-wise like we had early on. So that's
right.
One thing we cannot complain about.
All right, as Al Davis used to say,
just win, baby.
So that'll do it for this episode of the Tiger Basketball Report. I'll have the game for you from James Madison starting Saturday at 3:45 on CBS Sports Radio 1300 and TowsonTigers.com.
Who are you picking in the Super Bowl, Spiro?
Patriots.
Attaboy, Spiro.
Sorry, Rob Knox. For head coach Pat Skerry, I'm Spiro Morekas. Thanks for joining us on another edition of the Tiger Basketball Report, and as always, go Tigers.